guys, King of the North here, bringing you a Dark Souls 3 playthrough. I finished up the Dark Souls 1 walkthrough, and I figured it was time to start recording Dark Souls 3 while I work on my Bloodborne playthrough on stream. With this, same as Dark Souls, I'm not going to call this a 100% guide, because it's easy to miss things, but I am going to try to grab as many things as I can. So feel free to play along and use this as a reference if you are going through Souls for the first time. And without further ado, let us begin.
Yes, indeed. It is called Lothric, where the transitory lands of the Lords of Cinder converge. In venturing north, the pilgrims discover the truth of the old words. The fire fades, and the lords go without thrones. When the link of fire is threatened, the bell tolls, unearthing the old lords of Cinder from their graves. Aldrich, Saint of the Deep. Farron's undead legion, the Abyss Watchers. And the reclusive lord of the profaned capital. Yon the Giant. Only in truth, the lords will abandon their thrones. And the unkindled will rise. Nameless, accursed undead, unfit even to be cinder. And so it is that ash seeketh embers.
Alright, and that was the opening for Dark Souls 3. Just as good as Dark Souls 1, in my opinion. Like I said, this isn't a 100% playthrough, but I'm going to do my best to do everything I can. First playthrough. None of this really matters here. I am going to be playing as a warrior. I do like the starting weapon for the warrior here. You'll see the axe is able to kind of stun enemies a little bit once they're hit, and allows you to kind of chain hits along. The burial gifts here, nothing really stands out as being amazing. The life ring is nice, but it only raises your maximum HP as long as you have the ring equipped, and with all the rings that are in the game, this has limited value. Divine Blessing, Hitting Blessing. They heal your FP or HP. So they're, again, kind of limited. Black Fire Bombs, you get these throughout the game. Nothing special there. This is used for upgrading a fire weapon, which, I mean, it's nice if you're going to be using fire weapons. I'll be using the Sovereignless Soul. It's a nice boost early on in the game, getting it, you know, a nice level jump. Rusted Coin, it works for a short while for item discovery, and this is for PvP, and I believe can be used to blend into the environment. I guess it's kind of like stealth away from enemies, but I'll be running with the Song of the Soul. Let's go standard. We're just going to stick with the basics here and jump on in. Hopefully the loading screens aren't too long on the PS4 Pro. Here we are in the Cemetery of Ash. Now, another thing I wanted to show off with the weapons here. All the weapons have a skill, and the axe here has a war cry. Let out a spirited war cry that temporarily boosts attack. So, going and holding your weapon two-handed and hitting L2 or left trigger, depending on what controller you're using, it activates the skill, and you're going to see the blue bar up in the top left corner goes down. Once this is used, it uses a little bit of MP. So magic has use for people who aren't playing with magic builds still, which is kind of nice. I wouldn't worry about investing a bunch of points and going crazy with trying to build your MP bar up. See, it doesn't really use all that much. You'll get a few charges per bonfire, and it's not like it's completely necessary to use your your skills all the time. It's usually pretty helpful for boss fights. And some of the weapons will have like leeches for HP. So if you're kind of struggling in some areas and you're getting low on health and don't have any Estus left, maybe worth using it. So we got the weapon, and okay, the other one was the Ashen Estus Flask. This actually increases your MP bar, so another reason why you don't need to invest a bunch of points into giving yourself more magic power. So there's a few enemies around here. Just clean them up. Gather whatever items are laying around. There's an archer here, so watch out. Just his shot. Fading Soul, I think it's worth like maybe like 20 souls. Now back here is a bit of a stronger enemy. If you're newer to the Souls games, I recommend holding off and fighting him because you can't use the souls you get from him until a little bit later, and it's very easy to lose these souls before you can spend them. So before going into combat here, I am going to use my ability and do my best here. Pull out of the way. The other problem with this too is he is got a good amount of defense, I guess we'll say. And because we're still relatively young into the game, we can't take many hits. And I don't have the best shield right now, so I have to actually get out of here before I die. That's actually a really good opportunity to get a hit in on him if you're next to him. Ooh, I got greedy there. So yeah, if you're fresh into Dark Souls, recommend holding off on him. It wasn't the cleanest fight for me, but I was confident in my ability to get him down at least. I've played through this game when it first launched. I beat on the Xbox, and now that I have a YouTube channel, I'm playing through it again on the PS4. So I have a little bit of experience with the Souls games. I have a few playthroughs of Dark Souls. I 100%ed this on the Xbox, so I think that's like, what, 2.5 or 3.5 playthroughs. I've played through Sekiro, which is kind of a different beast. But you'll see me take some risks at times because I feel a little bit more comfortable than someone who's a little bit newer at this game. Here's a bonfire. Unlike Dark Souls 1, you cannot level up at the bonfires. That's why I recommend holding off on that guy, because we technically do have a boss fight left on him. We have a boss fight before we can level up, so that's why it's better off to hold off on fighting that enemy. I rolled instead of jumped. Drop here. What is the jump for this? Run. Okay, that is an attack. Okay, it's... Alright, in the first Dark Souls, it's the circle button after running to jump. Here it's actually the left thumbstick in. Which actually might be a little bit easier doing some of the trick jumps. Which is going to come in handy later, and I'll show you where you may end up needing that. Should probably actually have the shield out. Since we're going to be going into a boss fight soon, I should probably try to preserve as much health as I can. Alright, try this again here. This isn't a very hard jump. It's easy to roll off of it after you get down onto this cast here. So you kind of have to angle it so you don't roll off once you land. Right, and this will be the first boss fight. It's tricky in the sense with his moveset. He's nothing super scary, but it's easy to get messed up, especially early on in the game. I guess they anticipate a lot of people to not have the controls down real well, so it's easy to get messed up. He attacks quick, he has very wide swings, and he has a grab ability, which you kind of want to avoid. I'll probably get grabbed here, you watch. But once we pull this sword from him, you can start attacking, and his second phase starts at around 50% of his health, and the thing on his back here will come out, and it's a little difficult to deal with because it's hard to see where it's going to be attacking. So once he starts to phase, you just want to get in as many attacks as you can. And at the very beginning of this, you'll see that I just start spamming attacks because he has an early animation, but you're able to get attacks in on that early animation. But before starting combat with him, I am going to buff up here, two-handed, going to pull this sword out, and then I am going to just start wailing on him. Just phased, and that's I did not get any damage before starting. So he still does spear attacks, and he's got this weird swing thing that you have to watch out for. I'm actually probably gonna die. Try to stand behind him like this and just kind of strafe around him. You can get attacks in and then roll behind, hopefully, before he comes back down. Okay, and shot him. I really was hoping to get more damage in on him while he was phasing in, but I'm actually kind of glad you got to see what it's like a little bit into that second phase. So we'll light this bonfire, we'll rest at it to refill the Estus flask. And we will move on to the Firelink Shrine up ahead. This area has a few enemies you'll want to watch out for. Nothing super crazy. The biggest issue with a lot of these guys is you're standing near an edge. It's very easy to attack, and when you take a step after attacking like this, you see with the axe at least, he kind of moves forward. It's so easy to take a swing at somebody and be positioned wrong, and then you take that step and you're off the ledge. So your environment is more of a danger here than the actual enemies. There are a few items scattered about here I will try to collect. Stabbing the back is required. Won't have to stab him. Swing and kill him. A little risky with the backstab, I think, being that close to the ledge. A lot of these guys aren't aggressive until you approach them, but free souls are free souls, right? Shield up there. Around to the right side here. There's an item over here. I knew there was a dog in here, and I completely forgot which part he was going to be on. The problem with them is they're very quick. They dodge and can get back on you pretty quick, so just be careful. So you have your own strategy down for taking them out. That is an Ember, and as you can see, my character has an embered appearance to him right now. This is similar to Dark Souls 1 in the sense that it acts as humanity. You get a little bit more HP and allows you to involved with PvP and also summon enemies, or summon NPCs into the world to help you in boss fights. Sorry. So that is a sword for Firelink Shrine here.
Welcome to the bonfire, unkindled one. I am a firekeeper. I tend to the flame, and tend to thee. The lords have left their thrones, and must be delivered to them. To this end, I am at thy side.
So these are the thrones that she's talking about. The object of this game is getting the souls of Cinder and bringing them back to their thrones where they belong. But, like I said, unlike Dark Souls 1, you don't level up at a bonfire, you have to come back to the Firekeeper and level up here.
Then touch the darkness within me. Take nourishment from these sovereignless souls.
So the stats here are Vigor, Attunement, Endurance, Vitality, Strength, Dexterity, Intelligence, Faith, and Luck. I will be running a Strength build for this playthrough. I will be primarily focused on Vigor to keep HP high, some Endurance, Vitality because of the equipment load. Heavier gear requires more vitality, or you'll start fat rolling, as they call it, and I will go over that in a second. And my primary damage stat will be strength. There may be some weapons that are they scale better with strength, but have some dexterity in it, which putting some dexterity points in here and there may be beneficial, but I'll be leaning heavily on strength going forward. I'm not going to level up just yet because I do have souls that I picked up, and I have the burial gift still. But I did want to talk about equipment. Up in the top right corner, you see weight ratio. Anything under 40%, you get a fast roll, which is you roll quickly and it covers a large distance. We are between 40 and 70 right now, so we have a mid roll. As you see, like it's not slow, it gets some distance. It allows us to still be able to have a very good chance of dodging out of the way of enemies. And then anything over 70% you fat roll. And I don't think I have anything to equip just yet to put me over that. I don't. So what happens with a fat roll is you'll roll. He probably covers the distance from where I'm standing right here to here. As you see, it's a lot less than standard roll, so he probably covers the length of these steps, and he like falls on the ground and slowly gets back up. Not ideal for trying to face fast enemies that you want to dodge out of the way. I'm going to spend the souls that I have selected. Fortunately, here we can use multiples of items. Wait till we finish the animation. Use. And Soul of a Nameless Soldier. So that. Alright, and yeah, that's the Ember, Firebomb, or Bone. Okay, so now we can spend our souls. Level up.
Ashen one, produce the mark to Loth. Very well. Then touch the dark, take nourishment.
We will touch the darkness within her. I'm gonna jump back and forth a little bit here with Vigor and Strength. So we're already 100 HP higher than what we were by putting, what, 3 points into it? Yeah. Which is really good. I do want to keep Strength up. Not worried about stamina just yet. I was doing okay during Gundyr. Vitality. We're not near 70, and I'm not going to get it below 40. ability by any stretch. So we'll put the rest into strength here. It's only so we got 9 levels out of that. That's why the soul as your burial gift comes in handy here. Allows you to get a head start.
Farewell, Ashen One.
So a few things to go over here before I end this episode. You'll see various NPCs scattered about here. You do want to try to exhaust their dialogue options.
Well, you're good, but weird.
I'm not gonna
Don't you think?
go through everyone's dialogue options every time.
What a start. What a start.
So a lot of the NPCs, they have points later in the game as long as you interact with them. Firekeeper here is your level up area. This is a shopkeeper here.
A pleasure to. I am weapons. I've lots of little, and here Ashen, as is thy want.
You see she has various items for sale. Repair powder. You can buy embers from her, which are, you know, they come in handy later on. As I said, they give you more HP. They allow you to summon NPCs to fight bosses with you, and she has various items. I believe you can sell, yeah, you can sell items to her, which is also really nice if you have a million straight swords sitting in your inventory. And
well, I am
of course,
Andre.
have
I
Andre.
serve as a humble smith. You're in search of the Lords of Cinder, I trust. A toilsome journey, I'd wager. You'll require good arms. Let me smith you weapons. I am a smith. Such is my purpose.
So, Andre has the ability to, you know, upgrade all your weapons, which everyone's familiar with, but also is the upgrade for our Estus Flask and the Ashen Flask at the end, right? The blue one. So you get shards, you can reinforce your Estus Flask. We don't have any right now, but when we do get some, we'll come back to him. It'll give us more charges to our Estus Flask, and then you can allot the charges. And this is what I was saying about the pool of charges. You can give more to the Ashen Flask. This will allow you to fill up your MP bar, but really we're not going to be using that too often. I'll leave one charge in there in case we get through longer areas in which I want to have my skill available to me. So 3-1 is good for now. Like I said, as you get further in, you can get more charges and allot them to how you see fit. Just going to go through Firelink Shrine here real quick. And you can read the back of all the thrones here. This one belongs to Yorm. This belongs to the Watchers of the Abyss. King Lothric. This guy is here. Bloodlith, the Exiled.
All that unkindled, and a seeker of lords. I am Ludleth of Corland. Look not in bewilderment as I say. I linked the fire long ago, becoming the Lord of Cinder. If substantiation be thy want, set thine eyes upon my charred corpse. This sad cadaver. No need to be coy. Have a closer look.
So the nice thing about him,
5 thrones will take 5 lords as king
for you.
For the linking of the fire. The fast fading flame must be licked to preserve this world. A reenactment of the first linking of the fire. So it is, I became a Lord of Cinder. I may be but small, but I will die a Colossus.
The interesting thing about him is he can take the boss souls and create, I believe they're boss weapons or whatever. We'll go more into that as I get the materials for him. I believe he's missing his legs, I'm not sure. But he's one of the Lords of Cinder who are here. And as he said, you need to gather... St. Alder... Okay. You need to gather the Lord's souls in order to be able to kindle the fire, or the world will fade away. So again, I'm going to go outside. Over here is a stronger NPC, which he can be summoned later. For a boss fight. I believe it's actually the next boss fight coming up. He's a bit tough. I'm gonna give him a shot here. I didn't there we go. He's quick. I don't really have the best shield for him. Keep letting the shield down. Oh man, I was definitely just trying to get a backstab on him. Okay, so he's, like I said, he's a little tough to deal with. He moves quick, doesn't take much damage considering he's not wearing any armor. I am going to run out there, grab the souls, and then I do want to show one more area before we end this episode, because we are getting to 31 minutes. I did not rest at the bonfire in Firelink Shrine. Alright, I'm just gonna run. Damn it, that sucks. I put the sword into the bonfire, did not rest at it. Shit. Okay, I broke his posture. The worst part about it is I lost my ember when I died. Similar to Dark Souls, where you lose your humanity when you die, you also lose your ember here. Fortunately, I died further back. I was trying to get back here to try and recover my HP with the last charge of the Estus I had, but I kind of backed myself into a wall. So the other part of Firelink that I want to get through before ending this is this up here. This item. It's another soul. This tower right here, I believe you can spend 20,000 souls, which I'll do at some point to get a key to climb up here, travel off to that tower over there. There's different gear and I believe a ring up in that tower over there, and it drops down back to where that other NPC was that we died to. And it allows you to get on top of the roof here. But you can do some of this early on by performing a tree jump here. It's not easy by any mean, but the best way to go about it is not running off of this route here, but trying to run up the tree and turning at the last second before jumping off the ledge there and getting up through here. When you start up the next episode, I will be on the roof and I will continue from there. But for now, I do have to end this episode because we are 30 minutes in. We were able to get the crystal lizard down, we got Gundyr, and then died to the itchy katana guy, unfortunately. But when we come back, I will be up on that roof, and we will continue further into the game, into the first real area, and start making some progress. So feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I hope you guys enjoy this playthrough that I do for this. I've been looking forward to it, so feel free to drop some comments. Peace!